welcome to Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy, with Coffee with Joy talk show and podcast. So excited to have you all here. I'm so excited to have my guest, Kara, as we talk about fashion made me do it. Are you someone who goes against the grain in fashion, or you stay on the sidelines? Well, today, my guest, Kara, she'll be talking about all things fashion. Of course, being a plus size fashion, she go against that grain. She's the one that crossed the line. She wears various colors, stripes, abstract colors, you name it. She does it. She crossed that line and beyond. So if you're that individual who likes to learn tidbits, how to dress, how to go against that grain, I have my guest, Kara. And after these messages, we're going to talk to my guest as we talk about fashion made me do it. Advertise your business on our podcast. Connect with us, the Coffee with Joy Talk Show podcast, and let's grow together. Email us. Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. I'm going to bring my guest, Kara, on. Hey, Kara, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course. So before we jump right in, can you tell people a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to go right into our questions.
Okay, so my name is Kara Juicy Johnson. I am a plus size style influencer. I also am a writer for The Curvy Fashionista and Lovely Scott. I'm also a content correspondent for The Curvy Fashionista. I've done some modeling. I know this is long-winded, but I also have my own creative community for millennial and Gen Z Gen Z creatives of color, where I provide them with creative resources and events. And I also have group photo shoots where I am the creative director.
Yes. All of that and more. Of
Yeah,
course, when you love something, it's just innovation just takes over. So of course,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
all what it is. Going with the times, you're not stagnant. So that's something we
hmm
definitely love to hear. So now, what made Kara get into fashion? What is it about the fashion that you really love about it, and how did you explore like various abstract colors and beyond? Because even though we're in 2025, there are still women who still keep to those mundane, no tea,
Yes.
shade.
Yes. No tea, no shade.
Correct, right? That's your own. But who wouldn't dare say, "Oh, I can't wear that color. I'm just like the black and blue soldiers. I got my black
hmm
and blue, white, brown." Well, what makes Kara go beyond those lines?
Well, I started, my first job was in retail and it kind of went from there. So I had my first job my summer before college, and then I went to SUNY Albany, which is upstate New York. I don't know if you guys are familiar with upstate New York, but it's very rural. We had one mall. So when we had to go to the club and go to places where I needed to get dressed up, I didn't have many options. I actually only had Torrid, and we're talking about Torrid circa 2006. So it wasn't my aesthetic. I felt like I couldn't make things work.
Mhm.
Right. So when I graduated, I still went into retail. I started a blog called the Juicy Journal. And I decided to help people, plus size women, try to find things or how to shop. So I would do thrifting. I would find stores that, fit my aesthetic and just let the girlies know what and where to find these things.
Oh, wow. So now,
Yeah.
what is like your favorite thing to wear? What is your favorite thing? Your favorite go-to?
Oh my gosh. I mean, are we talking clothing or are we talking the whole thing? Because
The whole aesthetics, everything.
okay. So my absolute favorite thing to wear are thigh high boots. I
Yes.
wear them in every season. I love I can even do a high heel thigh high boot. I think a lot of plus size women don't understand that a thigh high boot is different from a heel. It gives you so much more security with your ankle. So I can wear thigh high all night long. And I mean, I'll wear it with shorts, I'll wear it with a dress, I'll wear it with a skirt. I have so many thigh high boots. I'm really kind of obsessed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would never have thought about that. Never had
Yeah. I
like what
love them.
gravitates you with the thigh high? I'm
What
just
did you
curious.
say?
What gravitated you to the thigh high boots?
What gravitated me toward thigh highs? You know what it is? But they weren't always available to plus size women. And I always saw them on other people and would say, oh my God, I want this for myself. But it wasn't something that I could find easily. So when it did become available in different places and kind of brands realized, oh, girls want this, I collected them.
Oh, wow.
I just got obsessed because I'm like, now I can have this. Now I can style my pieces with thigh high boots. I'm putting thigh high boots on everything.
Oh, now do
Yeah.
you have them in various colors, or It's just one colors that you have because I only have
I
the black.
have them in croc. I have them in what is it? Cow print, snake print. I have blue, red, black, different blacks, different browns, patterns. Listen.
Oh, I feel you. You better than me. Oh yes. Now, granted, I'm not against it. I only have one black one,
Oh
and
gosh.
of course, seasonal. They just fall
Yeah.
in the winter, but
Mhm.
that's good. That's great to hear because I would never have put. If somebody would have asked me, I know that was a hands down fail. I would have failed across the board.
Oh
Now,
gosh.
what do you see as the pro and cons in plus size fashion today? And plus, being a writer, you get to see from a different perspective from various ranges. What are what pros and cons have you seen from? Let's. I don't want to go too far, like from 2019 up until like now, within that time.
Mm. So for me, I think the indie brands are really showing up and showing out for the plus size women. I don't know if they're getting as much exposure
Yeah.
as they should, but as a writer, I'm seeing so much style. Like I'm so impressed by the indie brands. I mean, we're talking about. I just did an article about Painted by Sean.
Mm-hmm.
She just
Yeah.
put out a
Yes. You
collection,
did.
and I mean, I remember when the harem pants were in, and now she brought them back, and it's just like, oh my god, this aesthetic is so classic to me, and I think that the women really need to know about it. There's someone I met at a Essence Fest event last year, 24th by Jordy. I want to say, don't quote me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry, but I think it's 24th by Jody. She's new indie, but her stuff is so great and it's handmade. It's just beautiful to see. You know that plus size designers are out here and they're not forgetting about us. They're really putting the style that we want and they see that we want it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Now do you think that over time, like the plus size have changed from that time? That from like let's say 19,
2019.
correct? Because I don't want to go too deep down because it hasn't. Of course, it's probably been a decade, but I don't
Yeah.
that far. But from like 19, because we know COVID have really took a shift and really made things go left. So
Yeah, absolutely.
pre and now post COVID, what have there been any change in the fashion world that you noticed, and that's something that you would like to keep up? Because I know that I'm not against, hey, I'm here. Health is wealth. I know weight loss surgery has made gains. And when I say made gains, meaning that, people could do the less invasive. They can take pills, they can take shots.
Mm.
So that
This
is
is
really
exactly what I was going to say.
Mhm.
The change that I've seen is that brands are taking plus sizes out of the stores. And that's why I feel that we really need to lean into the indie brands that are supporting us because these companies they're taking the plus size away. They're stopping you using you go on their websites, they don't have plus size models anymore. Models can't even find jobs the way they used to. You know, I have model friends that were in New York that had to go back home because there's no jobs. You know, with Ozempic, the rise of Ozempic, it's kind of almost makes you feel as though they're trying to delete plus size.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like they want there to be no plus size so that they don't even have to offer it. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I feel.
completely. And I totally agree because of course when we look at big brands, when I say big brands, I mean those stores that have been around for at least 2 decades or more.
Mhm.
Um, when we look at them, they have been in big markets, right? Big urban areas where you're able to get, and now they release those brick and mortars, right? And by
Mhm.
releasing those brick and mortars, it's like it's hard to obtain to in person. It's like now they're trying to move and push plus fashion online. And granted, I know many will argue that, yeah, probably a century, not century, 2 decades ago, yeah, we were online. I think we almost was the online starters, right? We're the
Yeah.
online, right? And
Absolutely.
slowly but surely we start to come offline because now women want to touch and feel. And that really
Mhm.
changes the fashion. But now it's like we're going backwards. Now we don't
Yeah.
have those brick and mortars. We don't have where we're able to touch those materials anymore. We have to like look, we have to put our basis onto people who do reviews and somewhat say, oh, she's my body type. Okay,
Right.
I like how that look. Okay, I get that. But someone like yourself who's into fashion, who mix prints, do you see that's a decline in women just in period, where the fast fashion is taking over and they're not able to play with those
Like
materials?
go into the store and touch the materials. I totally
Mhm,
understand. I myself am a online shopper. I think it's just it started that way. I want to say like it started with ASOS. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
Yeah,
my first online obsession was ASOS, and then it just continued from there. But I completely understand needing to go into the store and like touch and feel. When I posted yesterday about ASOS opening a store in Soho, I got so many plus size women reaching out to me to say, "Hey, like, do they have plus sizes?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm gonna go and find out for you guys. Like, I need to go and report back because
yeah,
if ASOS has, a store and they've cut out plus sizes when they offer them on their website and have been always,
yeah.
that's just really a slap in the face. So the
Mhm.
girls want to know. We need to know.
Yeah. And then 1000%, women just need to know, period. And
Mhm.
it's a shame that we're living in a size versus plus size. Because I don't even want to say skinny and I don't want to say neutral. Because
Right.
again, it depends on what perspective you're standing on, who eyes you're looking at. Because somebody may say, hey, a 18 is a plus, a 10 is a plus. Who deems
Mhm.
that? Only the person you're talking to deems,
Exactly.
man-made rules are what they are. So
Yeah,
it's
it's what you identify as.
correct. And just to be challenged to see that we're being pushed back online 100%, and people don't want the fast fashion. But when you have places like Shein and Temu that offer,
Mhm.
nobody wants to go back and start paying $30 for a shirt, $50 for a dress when I may only wear this one time. Now,
Right.
someone like yourself who's into the fashion, what do you find yourself spending more, or is still at a normal for you, when you're purchasing things, or even mix and match the outfits that you do have at home?
So for me, I'm spending less. I'm actually doing a lot of shopping at home, and it's
Mhm,
because number one, my finances are not where they used to be. There's been a decrease there, and I know that's the same for a lot of people.
mhm,
Number two is that I had to give away a lot of my clothes because I lost a little bit of weight,
mhm,
and so I just feel like I
mhm.
I need to shop my closet. I need to
Yeah.
make things work. The good thing about that though is that I kind of feel like I fell into my personal style again. Like
Mm,
not be or not even that I can't, but not wanting to spend the money outside and like go and just buy something real quick, but having to like test my creativity again and like put pieces together, mix prints and do all of that. It's fun
mhm,
and I'm learning my style again, which when your body changes, it's kind of hard to find that. Like you
mhm,
get a little lost. You're like, who am I? What looks good on me? My body looks different. I don't know my shape anymore. But you're forcing yourself to do that. And so I would tell anyone to shop their closet and like my girl Essie would say, get in the booth. Get in the booth and do
yeah.
the work. Yeah.
First, congratulations on losing the weight, because that's, of
Thank
course,
you.
great. Health as well, because
Health
you can get
is,
one
yeah.
body. You could change all the clothes you want, but you can't change the body. So,
Hmm.
whatever route you decide to go, health is wealth. As long as you're
Oh
breathing,
girl, I
just
really want to stay thicker. I have no desire to be small.
that's
I
no
don't.
desire. Same here. I'm health as wealth. All I know when I go to the doctor, I want the doctor to say,
You're
you're
healthy.
correct. He may say
Exactly.
lose some pounds, but overall you're
Mhm.
good. That's all I want to hear. Because
Yeah.
again, I love being plus size. I love to see
Mhm.
the clothes being filled out. But again, I'm here for the health as well. Losing a few pounds is great, but
Mhm.
truly, so congratulations on that.
Thank
And
you.
I know that is a trend now where some women are starting to shop their closet,
Mhm.
starting to put the pieces together, starting to say, hey, like you stated, falling back in love with a style, really saying, hey, you know what? Let me try this. Let me go into this. Let me do that. Now, when you do shop your closet, what things do you find yourself saying, like a aha moment, or you're just like, wow, or you're like, this is the same? Do you find yourself at different angles while looking at shopping in your closet?
I'm finding myself like shopping. I mean, looking more into mixing prints.
Hmm.
So like mixing plaid with camo, mixing camo with leopard, leopard with cow print, zebra print, and leopard print. Those things really work together. If you
Hmm.
really think about it, camo can be looked at as a neutral. So it
Yeah.
really goes with anything. Same thing with leopard print can be looked at as a neutral. Same thing with zebra print. So you mix those things with like florals or plaid and it's just fun to do the
Yeah.
colors.
Now, what is
Also
it?
thrifting.
Yeah. Oh, chap, that's something that's
Whole
like,
other thing, right?
girl, that's like, oh my God, thrifting is a whole, like, that's where it is, tell you the truth. Thrifting is
Hmm.
crazy because, like you stated, a lot of people have lost their job, especially,
Yeah.
in DC, a lot of people have lost their jobs, and not to, downplay thrift, but a lot of people are, skating through there because they find,
Yeah,
wow, I could find, like, I got slacks for like $2,
exactly.
and people were like, wow, I like your slacks. And I said, you just check there. People are sending great things, even things with tag on there. But again, we could talk about thrifting all day. Let's talk.
All day. All
Yeah,
day.
part two. Part two to that. Now,
Okay.
do you have an advice for any women, any especially plus women? Just say women in general, but we just gonna say plus. Any plus woman who's afraid of wearing like prints,
Mm,
wearing patterns, who's afraid to get out of that box because many women today they still have yet to even embark on that. And we're talking about women who are like in their 20s and 30s who have
yeah.
say, you know what? Let me try print. Let me try this. What are your advice to them if they're wanting to wear that but they are scared?
I would say try the trends. I know people they're like, oh, the trends, like the trendy people, blah blah blah. But this is the positive thing about trends. It allows you to experiment. So if you see a trend and you're like, that looks good on that person, but I don't know how it will look on me, try it. Nobody has to know. Do you get
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like just experiment because how you find your personal style is going outside of your comfort zone. Like
Mm.
how you find what colors go together is getting out of your comfort zone and putting them together and saying, wow, I really like this. But if you don't do that, you'll never get there.
Oh,
It's
facts,
just not going
facts.
to happen.
And I want people to hear that. You have to come off the sand to know what the water feels like.
Right.
You have to, even if you put your toe, you got to get it before you can submerge. So that's phenomenal. I always want to make sure that my guests share that because when people listen back on come back on the play, they find like, oh wow, this was very helpful because I know plus to plus can say, but when you hear someone else and it's like reiterating the fact that okay, fear can't be my friend no more. Let me just go.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be so
Exactly.
wild with it. You just, hey, just wear various patterns. So
Mhm.
after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest, Kara. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. We're going to come back and talk about how does she set up her shoes? How does she cultivate a community of women who share the same likes? Because again, being around like-minded individuals can really push you to another level. So after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest, Kara. The PayPal QR code, and so that you can find out more about these Q sets and so much more. Let's get to work. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Coffee with Joy. I'm gonna bring my guest Kara back on. Hey, Kara. Hey. Again, thank you for sharing your tidbits before we went on break. Now,
Absolutely.
you stated that and of course, I saw it on social media where you have these photo shoots. Tell us a little bit about these photo shoots and why did you cultivate these communities with women of taking pictures and so forth?
So I guess I this is what I do. Like every week I'm outside taking pictures and people would always say to me, "Wow, I wish I could do that." Like but I tend to do a little creative direction with my shoots. Like I it's more than an out.
Uh oh.
I like to set the background of my shoots and really like give it a feeling, a mood, you know. So I realized that this is creative direction and I can go somewhere with this.
Mhm,
So what I did was invite ladies out to
mhm.
come and shoot with me, give them a theme, like what to wear, a mood board, and just come out and shoot. And they've been free. People come out, they love it. We are able to network, and it just expands the network. And I feel like that's what's missing today. We need to uplift each other and like repost. If you see something that's really popping or dope on social media, repost it to your stories and allow your community to be introduced to this person because you never know. It's hard to grow on social media. The algorithm, all these things, like you don't want another thing blocking
Yeah.
that. So uplift someone, and that's how that got started.
Oh, okay. And is a point that you said, well, bringing people out, because people need to understand there's a difference between a follower and a supporter, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you might have 11.2 followers, but you may only have 3 supporters. But those
Right.
supporters are in your city. So you doing those small, cultivating your community and bringing women together, you never know how it mash out. Because again, I want the support. Because again, nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to have an event where it's just you and the event. You want to have people.
Right.
But
Exactly.
as much as I know it's in someone's heart, they may be living in Australia who supports you, but we know they're not going to get a ticket to come all the way, to New York and say, hey, just for that day. So no shade, no tea to them. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just hey, we need supporters versus the followers. Now, with these women coming together, what is something that you hear most by these women joining you, being together and wanting to come out? Because we know, as the saying goes, as you become an adult, your friendship starts to lessen because,
Mm,
life take off. You get married, you have kids,
yeah.
interest changes. But for women to willingly come out, make time, what is something that out of the conversation that you hear when women do come out to these photo shoots?
So they come out because they are afraid to do content by themselves.
Mm,
They don't have a content buddy. They may feel unsafe shooting content by themselves, or they're looking for community. And
mhm.
so, what warms my heart the most is after these women come together, I'm on Instagram scrolling and I see them together without me.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah, like that's so it's so nice to see that
Yeah.
the community starts with the creative corner, but it goes so far past that. You
Yeah.
know, we're a baby brand right now, and it's already doing that. So it really warms my heart, and I know that it's gonna get bigger
Of
for
course,
sure.
because people want, but see the thing about it, I think, not I think, I know. I know
Hmm.
people want to be around, people want to, but some people are afraid to initiate. They're afraid
Right.
to, because they're afraid from all aspect, whatever that aspect may be, whether the let down or it's not going to work out. Because we're human. Self-doubt comes in play, things happening, but when they see someone else do that's in the area, they're more willing to come. So, and that really pushes the forces out, and you never know how that synergy comes to play. So I think
Hmm.
that's phenomenal. Now, doing these photo shoot, what are some things that you do have? Because sometimes with outfits, when it comes to the fashion, again, even though some women may be fashionable, they may say, "Huh, Karen may be too. That may be risky," or "Nah, I ain't doing that." 'Cause
It
again,
may be, listen, because I'm bold, and I know I'm not for everyone. I am bold. My themes can be bold. I have a shoot coming soon, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how they'll feel about this, but I'm gonna do
okay.
it anyway.
So
I'm gonna do it anyway.
what has been some of your past themes in these photo shoots?
So we had Juneteenth. We did that in Queens for like in front of oh my gosh, Q-Tip. Oh geez, Tribe Called Quest in front of a mural there. We did like a all out content meetup, which had photographers, videographers, I mean brand owners, influencers, models, all the works come out and just get content together. We've done
Mhm.
that. We have one coming up at a skate park. It's called Retro Rollers. And that's
Okay.
the one where I'm like, I don't know how they'll feel. It's giving very roll bounce, but that's coming soon. Look out for the flyer. What else have we had? Oh my gosh, not me not knowing. We had a head we had a headshot mixer,
Okay.
where people came out, they got to meet other people, share their businesses or whatever they have going on, and get some headshots, get some really cool
Mm.
pictures taken, headshots and like pictures on the couch and the ambiance. So that
Yeah.
was cool. What else did we do? Girl, I'm like I just feel like I can't think of anything right now, but it's on the page. Listen, follow One Stop Creator Shop. It's all there.
Well, no, great, because fashion is just not clothes, right? This is what
Yeah.
conversation, is community, and it synergize everything. So it's just your style, your clothes speaks without your mouth opening, right? It
Mhm.
invites people open. So, and it really grants, I know we say plus size, but that's for anybody, right? Because you be walking
Yeah.
the street, and I know, if I can just, play God here, I know for a fact people say, I love your style. I love what you wore. Because without you, and you're probably hustling and busting through the streets,
Mhm.
someone pull you over and or stop and say, "Wow, I like your outfit," not knowing
Yeah.
that you're probably in a rush and putting your things on. It works in so many various ways. So
Yeah, for
this
sure.
having the fashion is another way of opening doors for community, bringing those people over. And you stated that they started there. Some of them have started or went out on their own, doing their own content.
Right.
What is that feeling like? And have they expressed to you like, "Wow, thank you for bringing me out of my comfort zone," or so forth? What is that feeling like?
It's the whole reason why I do this because
Mm,
I mean, I started this because I went on Threads looking for a content buddy. I just didn't
mm,
have one. I didn't want to set up my tripod. I was kind of tired of that. I
yeah,
wanted to have a buddy that I can meet up with, maybe weekly, and you shoot content of me, I shoot content of you. Like that's how this started. So to see people actually taking it seriously and like really networking and finding someone that they can feel safe and feel like, okay, I found a friend, I found someone that I can trust to do this with on a
mhm.
consistent basis makes me feel really good.
That's good because, like you stated, having a content buddy. I'm all for, yeah, I can show you ways on the tripod, but when you're trying to take
Yeah.
you
Real fast, and you in the city, it's like
and and look, and then on top of when the weather's not your friend, and you're
yeah,
like, look, and I know there's some makeup gurus, but when I do makeup, my makeup be like, baby girl, I give you 2 seconds. You better snap quick. I know you got sprays,
then
so
it's changing.
yes,
Changing outfits by yourself is not fun. Like I have changing tents and all of that, but when you're by yourself, you're inside a tent. You don't know who's outside the tent. You just feel you feel like okay, somebody is standing outside and they're gonna like try to unzip the thing. It's very
yes,
uncomfortable. So it's just good to like even if they just stand outside the tent and protect you, you know?
look. Look, you better than me, Kara, because I know my friends have said several times, Joe, won't you get the tent? Girl, I'm not getting no tent. You got no bra and underwear. That's a form of a bikini. Only difference is it may match or may not match, but I try to make sure it's all black. And I try to start from hard to easy, right? Because like you
Mhm.
said, when you're by yourself, you have to think of those things, right? And try
Right.
okay, if something is hard, I try to think, okay, let me go ahead and wear that. I can at least finagle that at the house. But
That's
something
me.
because you're trying to
Mhm.
batch these content, so
Yes.
you like 5 outfits. I'm like, look, they seem butt behind and all body parts. Mine is
Mhm.
not open. It's just undergarments, people.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I do the tent thing for other people mainly, but I definitely am the girl who's changing in the street. So when you
oh,
change in the street, you gotta know the layers. Yeah, you gotta know. So you start with the dress, you might go with the skirt after that, then you change it to the jeans.
you try to get
There's
this content, and you only
there's
got
a
limited
system.
time.
Yeah, there's a
Yes,
system to
I'm with you
this.
on that, but I am a firm believer. Yes, and for those people I flash, I do apologize. I didn't go too far, but I tried my best. But I know how that process works. Now,
Yeah.
do you see yourself going to various cities once you continue to grow?
Absolutely. That's always been the plan. Like I really want to come to Atlanta. I have definitely some people there because a lot of my influencer friends, they're not just in New York. I have influencer friends everywhere. I want to go to Houston, so Atlanta definitely, Chicago, Cincinnati. Yeah, I want to take this on the road. I absolutely do.
Yeah, because nothing states just content, just having people doing content. And people, I know you probably heard it like myself when the sound over, just do the content, just go ahead and post, just go ahead and post. Well, it's easy said than done, right? Because your inner self start playing games and you're looking, because everyone has a camera. Next, you looking on social media 2 a.m. at night, you see your behind on TV. You're like, what? How? You probably changing, like, see your behind. So I totally get just having that comfort zone. Now, as with the fashion and everything, what is like a staple piece that you must have? Like for myself, I could be nude, but if I don't have these, I just feel out of place. I feel like I'm not together. I'm a stud girl. I have to have studs. So these are
I'm
my
the same. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, so I'm the same with the studs. Like I can't do hoops. I've tried. I own so many, but they just sit there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I love a necklace. I love like bangles, rings. Oh my gosh, right now that's really my thing. Like the
Mm,
big chunky rings. I just love it. I love watch rings. And a great place to find those things is thrift stores.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Studs are my staple. That's a must. So if I
I'm
have
very simple with
these.
the ears too. It's
Yeah.
the thing, it's like either you have the ears or you have the neck, and for me, it's the neck. So
Yeah, mine is the ear. It must be stud. If I can get something bigger, I
yeah,
surely will because these are everyday wear. Now,
exactly.
with fashion changing, what is something that you see in the plus world or just in fashion period that I know we're trending, but we know trending has an end to it. But what is something that is a piece that has been staying? Like you're yourself, you're a writer, of course, you're into fashion. What is one piece that you have seen from the time that you can recognize up until now that has been a continuum that has yet to leave in the fashion world?
And that probably never will. I
Correct.
would have to say blazers. Oh my gosh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
From when I was in college, I remember the first blazer I ever got was from the Gap, and it was like $90. And I had no money, but the fact that they had just come out on the scene and I couldn't find one, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm getting this Gap blazer. It was like navy blue with a gold button. It was so basic, but I was like, I need a blazer. I can wear this with anything. It's so good. And it doesn't stop. Like now I love blazers. When I thrift, first place I look is blazers. I love
Yes.
you can go to the men's section and look for the blazers. Like, yeah.
Yeah, blazers are top. That's
That's
when I
so
first
cute.
started Coffee with Joy, I was like, yeah, I'm wearing my glasses and my blazers. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
I
Yeah,
love
but
that. I love
I
it.
realized that I'm running out of blazers, and okay, it's easy. I get like 5 pairs for $2.99, but
Mhm.
my blazers, I'm like, okay, okay. So I guess I still would have my blazers because that was going for a while. But after a while, I was like, okay, because I want to make sure I change it up, make sure it's not being the same,
I don't think it ever
And
goes out of style. I mean, even skinny jeans kind of went out of style. I mean, it's coming back now, but you can wear a blazer with wide leg jeans. You can wear them the capris that are in now, like anything. It's like you slap a blazer on, it's fine.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
And
love it.
the wacky they look, the abstract, that's my blazer. I
Hmm.
oh my goodness. I especially like my glasses. The wacky they are, the better.
I love
I
that.
love the funky they look, the better. Yes, they will always be my conversational piece. And granted, yes, and there's no,
I love it too. Oh, you
yes,
don't have shades. Oh my goodness, you don't have lenses in it.
just straight frames. They all I buy them just for the frames and I pop them out. Thank God,
Oh, so that
So
makes
yeah,
it so different. I love that. That's very cool.
yes. The fashion, like these right here for my shows is this, but I wanted to be on my blazer, but I blazer idea was running
Already
out.
did
So I
it
said, okay.
before. That's so cool. I love that because you could have just kept the lenses in them and been like everybody else.
Because you know what? Somebody asked me a question. They said, so how do you keep the glare out? I said, as much as I would love to say I have tricks, I really don't. It's just there's no lenses. With the light shining. There was like, I noticed there's no glare. I said, yeah, I pop them out. I don't wear them. But yeah, when it comes to fashion, I go against like, look, I just want the frames.
I
The
love
wacky they are, the better.
yeah, big
So
funky glasses. Let me tell you, I had my appointment set July 1st to get me some glasses. I do wear contacts. I've been wearing glasses since the first week my mother sent me to school. Okay, somebody they sent me home with a letter like
oh wow.
glasses. So I've been wearing contacts because I've been wearing glasses most of my life. But I'm
Mhm.
going back because I need
Yeah.
I need some funky glasses.
The funky they are, the better. So,
Yeah.
Kara, we know that you are a busy woman. We know that life is not stop life. And as we bring the show to a close, what is something that keeps Kara going as far as like affirmation prayer? What keeps you going in the midst of doing what you love doing all together, whether writing, photo shoot, dressing, and so forth?
So a lot of people don't know this about me because I don't share it with most, but I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in
Mhm.
2020
Mhm.
during the pandemic, which was the worst.
Yeah.
But just learning that like life is unpredictable and it's so short and it can change at any time really kind of put my foot to the metal. I'm a believer that there are no limits, and all the things in life that I said I wanted to do, I'm going to do them.
Amen.
And so for me, an affirmation that I live by is you only have one life
Yeah.
and you need to, just be proud of it. Like when you're gone, are you going to be proud of your accomplishments? Did you do the things that you came here to do?
Right. Amen. Yes. So again, thank you so much, Kara, for being on
Thank
Coffee
you
with
for
Joy.
having me. I had a blast. This was so fun. And it
Thank
went so quick. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, time go by very, very fast.
Yeah.
So please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. If you have any questions, I know, please put them in the comment section for we know that Kara will love to read them and she will answer them back and we'll have her information below. And if you would like to patronize our company, please make sure that you follow our QR codes that's located on our screen. Any amount would do. Please make sure that you continue to follow. As season 3 comes to an end, I am so grateful for everyone. I love everyone. We have done 44 shows. Can you all believe it? For season 3, I am so excited, so elated what God has done. So just my saying to you all, to the people, to my viewers, to my listeners, supporters and followers, to all indifferent, I would like to say, continue to keep going. God has a purpose. It's a plan. Don't give up. No matter the route, no matter the win, no matter what takes place. Remember, you worry about the WIN. You worry about the WIN, God will worry about the WHEN because your win is the goal. Keep fighting, keep going, and don't give up. And see you all soon, for we're about to bring season 3 to an end. I am so ever grateful. And as always, if it's a weekday or a weekend, it is Coffee with Joy. You all live life on purpose, and see you all soon.